So the four stages of life where you actually awakening yourself and your spirituality, right? This is fully when you transform into the identity that you've been seeking for. This is when you become that version of yourself where you were holding back from, who you didn't want to embrace, or sometimes you couldn't be yourself. And it comes to like an unstructured life where our lives were just basically uncontrolled. Most of our childhood things were happening out of not of our control, but rather from our circumstances, from our people, from the way we grew up, right? So certain things like that never led us into us being ourselves, never led us into us making conscious decisions, right? Obviously, I'm not here to tell you that your life was false or your life shouldn't be the life that you should be living right now. Because at the end of the day, you have conscious right now. You have the awareness to do something about it right now. That is exactly why you're watching this video, right? But what I'm trying to say is that most of our lives, we've been thinking, we have been having wrong perspectives. We took wrong decisions. We took different personalities that didn't align with us, and which led to a lot of misconceptions, a lot of misunderstandings, and a lot of wrong prompts into our lives, right? But not everything is negative from the way we grew up, right? In order for us to change, we need to love our past. We need to love our other versions in order for us to evolve and keep loving ourselves no matter what, right? And just to start off with this, right? This is the first call. The call is you making the call, actually calling for your service, calling for your own self and your own perspective. Ignorance to awareness, right? So now you're just calling. You're calling to see if there's any more I can do, if there's other versions of myself trying to find me, right? If I can fit into the right timeline for me to basically have more existence than the mature world. Open my door to listening to my higher self, right? Because we live in a world where we base around things on materialism. We base things on money, popularity, the way you get more females, the way you get more males by looks, whatever it is. Like everything is so materialistic that it turns out that us humans, we tend to connect much more external rather than internally, right? That's why a lot of people tend to say, right, they love having money, but they end up not living themselves, right? They fulfill their own desires, but they never desire themselves in the true way. That's why people never tend to be satisfied. That's why people tend to live in the same regular life as over and over, because there's more to them. And sometimes people lack information, people lack common sense, whether if they can start focusing on the external rather than the internal. I'm not saying here that focusing on the external will be bad for you, but we should have a balanced life, right? We should always have a balanced life. There's no such thing as having an unbalanced life. You're so focused on the materialistic stuff rather than you focus on yourself, right? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Like the chemistry is not there. You're not really aligning with yourself at the right state, right? You're focusing on the things that you truly want, which is good, but you're not really focusing on yourself, which is the red flag, which is the thing that's gonna hold you back eventually, right? And actually opening your door to your higher purpose. So now, like I was mentioning, the material world is always gonna be a mature world, and it's just gonna get worse, right? But what I'm trying to say is that now that you start finding out more openings into life, right? Oh wow, life is not just about money. Like, you know, I can receive the same love that I'm giving to money now with friends, with family, right? With me getting better of myself, with me doing productive stuff, with me servicing my humanity, right? So it's like a different psychology mentioning, right? It's a different perspective here. We're not just thinking about money. We're not just thinking about cars. We're not just thinking about views. We're not just thinking about like different shit. We're just thinking about shit that's gonna help us alter our lives, be better, right? Become a bigger person, right? Becoming this person that is inspiring, making a change to the environments, and actually aligning with your own purpose. Your own purpose is doing the stuff that you love to do, right? You may say, well, the stuff I love to do is I love getting money, but is that really the thing that you love? What do you gotta do to receive money? What do you gotta do to become a person that receives money easily? You have to change yourself. right? You need to change yourself. That's the only true way how rich people get money, right? Once you love yourself, you will start loving everything around you, and there's gonna be so much love within your energy that people are gonna be so attracted to you, which is the best thing ever, right? That's the thing that you want. You wanna inspire people. You wanna be the light in their lives, right? But moving forward is now the search. You made the call. You have the awareness, but now you're searching, seeking truth and knowledge. Seek answers and truths. Now you're seeking more stuff. You're becoming curious about other stuff, right? You're asking yourself so much questions. Why do I love money? Why do I want to become a wealthy person? What do I gotta do to become a wealthy person? What do I have right now? Right? Do I have what it takes? Like stuff like that. It's just perceptually just change your perception, right? It's evaluating on who you are, and you're basically giving yourself a pop quiz. Your pop quiz, which is leading into answers that you have the answers for, which sometimes you probably have never been asked before, right? This is real stuff. This is stuff that no other person is gonna be questioning you. No other person is gonna be dictating from your life, right? This is stuff that you gotta find out by yourself, because nobody else is gonna understand you. You're the one who understands yourself the best. No random person is gonna come up to you and be like, "Hey, bro, I know what you want. I know your desires, right? I know your full desires, like, and I know how to put you in that position. I know how to guide you." Like, no, everybody has their own path, right? And the only reason why that path is gonna be uncomfortable, the only reason why that path is gonna be hard, because this path nobody else has took it other than you. Nobody else has evaluated this path in order for you to take it. That is why nobody knows where you're going, and that's why you're gonna be lost. You're gonna be lost, but every intention, every action that you're doing is coming out of desire, out of intention, out of something, out of purpose, out of reason, right? All these things are coming out of reason, which creates the truth. This is now realizing the truth, right? This is seeking what you want to seek, right? With that knowledge that you have. And now the truth is going to come out with that knowledge. That's why taking action on certain things, on the information that you know that you're supposed to take it, right? But at the end of the day, you're so scared to take that information and put it into action because you don't know where you're going. But that's the whole point. Nobody else knows where you're going, right? You're the only one who knows where you're going to go if you take action. If you don't take action, you're never going to know. And you're going to feel regret, right? You're going to feel regret. But you have to take action in that space where it says unknown. But it's what it's meant to be, right? The story's going to be boring if someone tells you where you're going to be ending up at. I don't even know where I want to end up, right? I don't want nobody to tell me. I want to get there myself. And if anything, if I can do certain changes and alternate that timeline, alternate my results and make them better, oh, I'll love it. I'll love it, right? I'll love it. So number 3 is the struggle, internal conflict and growth. The ego will resist transformation. The ego will, oh my gosh, the ego is the holding back thing. This is where the ego is going to let you know, why would you want to get better? Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to try this something new? Like, you're already good yourself. Like, why not keep being the same person over, right? Your ego is going to be that one thought, those words that are going to bring you into a different idea all the time. And that idea is frequently going to make you comfortable on who you are right now. It's going to make you think you're always right. It's going to make you think you're in the right position. It's going to make you think that you are your higher person. But the ego is just a false image. The ego is just a prompt from a way that you grew up, right? It's the way that you grew up intentionally. But the thing is, if you had a chance to change your reality and automatically make it shift, actually make a different decisions, actually have provided yourself with different habits and just different utilities or tools that are going to help you provide yourself with the sources that you want in order for you to succeed, will you take it? If I was to ask you a question, if you were to try everything that you wanted to do and there was no failure, you can never fail what you wanted to do. There's no mistakes. There's no mistakes. There's never failure, right? You can just keep doing what you're doing and just keep evolving without no things that are holding you back. Would you do it? Would you do it? Exactly, you would do it. Who would say no to that? Nobody would say no to that, right? It's like me telling you, hey, like, you want to be a millionaire? Perfect, bro. All you gotta do is do this, do this, do this, and you'll be perfect, bro. Like, there's no things that are gonna hold you back. I'm giving you a guidebook, and that guidebook is given itself. It's the shift, the transformation that you're gonna be coming within once you become this different self. Once you disconnect yourself away from your ego and you connect yourself true to your own desires, to your own intentions, and stop ignoring the ego. Now you're just moving based on your own true thoughts, and that's what creates a man. This is what creates a female. This is what creates a true person without them thinking out of their external. The ego was created from the outside. It was never created from the inside. Right? It was never created from the inside. So the ego will resist transformation, but this phase will change you. This may be uncomfortable and not easy, right? I may be telling you this like this easy. Eventually, like, all of a sudden, like, the ego is always gonna be there. It's always gonna be there, but you gotta find a way. And this is something called is you versus you. Even me, I cannot control that. Even me, like, I can give you the best advice, but it just comes out of your self-will. It just comes out of your own self-conscious to do things that you want to do differently, right? And it's gonna be uncomfortable, right? It's gonna be uncomfortable, and it's gonna put you in situations that, or in situations and circumstances that your mind has never been used to, right? It has never been used to it, but it's what it takes. It's what it takes. You're changing yourself. You're changing your whole self-identity. You're not the same person who you were last time. You're not the same person who was the same person last month. You're a different person. You know more stuff. You have learned and you've seen more stuff, and their situations have come throughout every space, right? But if around the same time, if you were to just focus on yourself and just have this spirituality path within yourself, actually doing the right things that you know, right? The right things that we don't, and just take action in everything, how different would you be? How better would you be if your transformation was to come out of your ego? Out, like, throw the ego away, being yourself, right? Take out your ego and just doing things basically on your own self without being influenced by your ego, by people, by the environment, none of that stuff, right? Just based on you. So number 4, right? The awakening, inspiration and inner peace in alignment with higher consciousness, right? So now, this is what happens when automatically you just select away from your ego. This is when you actually start realizing who you are. This is where the path comes clear. This is where you find things where you bring them back into your life. Like, sometimes where you did things that you loved to do back then, but you moved away from those things, and now you're just actually coming back to them, and now you start realizing, like, damn, man, I really miss doing that. I really miss playing that sport. I really miss, singing. I really miss drawing. I really miss going to the museums, becoming a vlogger, becoming a cameraman, like, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. Peace in alignment with the higher consciousness. Now, since you're connected to your higher consciousness, your mindset is just provided with things that you love. Because if you're your best self, you will have the best thoughts, you will have the best perspective, and you will have the best desires, right? Since it's just your higher consciousness, you will automatically start embracing on the things that you truly, truly love to do. And this is where a lot of people stick and actually become within with their purpose, right? And this is the people who were lost at first, but then since they started really focusing on themselves, they started listening to themselves, they started asking themselves the real questions, they start controlling themselves, right? And just persuading and every daily routines that they have productively created throughout the time of connect spirituality. This is where the wave just changes into the shift of the higher consciousness, right? It's just a shift. You're still gonna be you. You're still gonna have the same name. You're still gonna have the same birth. Nothing is different, right? Nothing is different. The only different thing is that now your whole temple has been purified with a lot of beautiful sights, with a beautiful perspective, with a beautiful journey, with a beautiful path, with beautiful words that have common alignment with who you are. Your higher self, or the universe, the world, or God is leading you to where you're supposed to be at. With no hesitation, you will take action on that path. With no negativity, nothing, not caring about what people say, but only staying true to yourself. That is your higher consciousness. Every weaknesses that you have basically deselected away from those things and now have become a better person. You're just being yourself. You're just being the true self. You're not having a fake personality. You don't care about getting approvals. You don't care about fitting in the circle. You don't care about what society has to say. You're just probably living your own life how it should be, right? The seeker becomes awakened. Instead of you looking, being lost, living in this life where everything is just become loop, just relax. It's okay. Relax. You're on the right path. Don't worry. You're in the right path. Only if you're doing the right things that you're supposed to do. That's how it is. That's how simple it is. That's how simple it is, right? So, my own experience, right? So me, ever since I've been in high school, I've been influenced to do a lot of stuff, right? I will say what you call those people that are followers. I will always tend to follow people. It comes to times where I kind of felt like I was overdoing myself, just trying to fit in, trying to become this person that, seeks approval, seeks attention, right? And then it came to a time where, it was around senior year, right? It was senior year, and I was like, what have I gained trying to fit in the circle? What have I gotten out of my own personal life? Me trying to become this person that is seeking attention, right? Seeking the love from other people, but not really seeking it for myself. What has it brought me to anything, right? And so I started just basically think differently, right? I just want to actually shift my own life. I didn't want to become this person that was just depending on other people, depending on things, depending on sort of attention, depending on approvals. Oh, hey, this guy is cool. Oh, bro, this guy, come on, bro, you can hang out with us. Stuff like that, realistically never intrigued me, right? But I suppose I was just trying to fit in. I suppose I was just trying to fulfill myself in different environments, right? So I can become that person that, the same intention that they had, I wanted to receive it as well, right? But it came to a realization. All it took was an awareness that I really don't need this. I'm still gonna be myself. I'm still gonna live the same life over and over. The only thing that is really troubling me is that I have a fake personality. Why do I need to fit in? Why do I need to overdo myself to become this person that they want to seek approval from? They qualify me to be in the group, right? So I just started being myself, right? I became distant. Well, in high school, my senior year, I started to become distant from other people. I started to just do every action based on myself. I wasn't inspired by anything. I wasn't influenced by what other people were saying. I was just really focusing on my own thoughts, right? And just focusing on my own self-growth. And that is my own experience. That is my own experience on how, instead of me connecting with my ego, connected with certain things from the external, and now actually took action. A lot of people think a lot, but then when they're thinking, they have manipulated themselves thinking that they did a change or anything. But realistically, they're always gonna go back into that circle, that alignment that shouldn't be proper. They're always gonna go back like a magnet. And so it just starts with action. You need to start distancing yourself from people. You need to start thinking out of your own mind. You really just need to have like space for yourself and learn how to like, be quiet. Just like shut up. Like sometimes like let your mind breathe. Sometimes sometimes you just gotta be quiet. You talk too much. Sometimes people talk too much and they don't even realize what half of the stuff they're saying. Sometimes people, they talk more than what they should be doing. Sometimes people, they talk and they end up, spilling things that they shouldn't be doing. The more you talk, it makes you more foolish and not really wise, right? But the more silent you are, the more simple you are as a person, the more people will understand you, and the more clearer you will be on your own thoughts, and really like having thought behind everything that you say, because communication is really important, right? Communication is important. So the cycles of awakening, this is a cycle. Growth never stops. So just because you awaken does not mean that you're just gonna stay in that same mentality. You're just gonna stay in that identity, right? You're always gonna evolve. So never settle for less. You still need to take action. You still need to be disciplined. You still need to do the same shit that you were doing back then, no matter what. Like, all the productive habits are never gonna stop just because you know your purpose, right? Oh man, I'm going back into being an artist, man. I love drawing, right? I love drawing. I need to go back and be an artist. So keep being an artist and be disciplined in that purpose. Be disciplined. If you really love it, be disciplined and actually, provide yourself with a lot of different sources. Put yourself out there. Show your art to other people, right? Don't just say it and then automatically just disconnect yourself away from that habit, right? People find themselves, but they tend to find themselves in different things that they shouldn't be finding themselves for. And what I mean is being influenced, being inspired now, being manipulated into doing different shit. Bro, if you never thought of doing that at first place, leave it alone. Just stick to your discipline and stick to the things that you love, right? So actually, if you're having problems with just focusing on yourselves, if you're having problems with typically just having an awakening to your own spirituality, I am doing a one-on-one coaching sessions. I just need y'all to stay in contact with me on my link tree and my link in my bio, and just stay in contact with me either on Instagram or on my websites or on TikTok or whatever it is, right? But moving on, it's the dark night of the soul, right? Dark night of the soul. So moving on forward into the darkness, moving on forward to the void. Now since you're connected to your soul, you still are the strong-minded person. You still are that person that wants to strive more, because the end line is not just connecting to your soul, but rather, what are you going to do out of the service of that soul? What is coming out of your own heart to provide the same feelings, to provide the same vibrations, the same emotional states that you have right now out to the real world as a service, right? And patience, trust the process. People will say, oh my gosh, I've been focusing on myself, but nothing is changing. Like, I've been doing it for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Like, hey, chill out. First of all, focus on where you are right now. Think to yourself, how far have you made it during those 3 weeks, and compare it to the last 6 months you've been living your life. Compare it. You've been succeeding more on your 3 weeks rather than you focusing on those 6 months past then. When you focus on yourself, you're providing yourself with a lot of data, with a lot of information, right? Why is it that you need to be in rush, be so desperate for results, have it thinking that something lucky is gonna come to your mind and be like, oh my gosh, I just awakened. Like, no, none of that shit matters. None of that shit is gonna exist. Why are you thinking out of your ass? It comes within. It comes out of your own personality. It's gonna come naturally. You don't force it. This is not fake. What I'm telling you to do here is that you're focusing yourself and finding more about yourself, right? It's not basically you unlocking something new or unlocking like different things. No, it's just you finding yourself. That is spirituality awakening. It's just you truly finding yourself, truly finding the things that you want to do, and finding more things and actually thoughts, right? Finding thoughts, the true thoughts that were naturally embraced on you, right? And just want to end it that this is peace. This is what I call peace. This is what I call freedom. Now, since you're thinking from yourself, now that everything is contributed out of your own consciousness, you never have to worry about being like this person that is a follower, being this person that easily gets influenced, being this person that easily gets inspired, right? Oh, well, I wouldn't say inspired, but rather being like manipulated into different things, right? It's getting inspired is amazing. Getting inspired is like, motivating. But what I'm trying to say is that don't become this person that is just basically, being that person that is carrying out the logs, but rather you be the log. You carrying yourself. Instead of depending on other people carrying you, you depend on yourself and become this person that is truly connecting with himself and his own subconscious. But yeah, man, it's been Fredo Saga. I leave it up to that. Live your own truth to create your own saga, man. Let's leave the dimension expansion with some new game. Like I was just reminding all of y'all, this is for y'all to change your own consciousness. This is for y'all to change that shift into your life and then automatically think differently. You're not gonna think the same. If you implement all this, you're not gonna think the same as that person who was thinking months ago, weeks ago, or days before you started implementing this. Trust me, right? But yeah, man, stay in contact with me in my socials and stay in contact with me in every social platform that y'all see me in, man. But yeah, check out my link in my bio on my profile and see you on the next time, man. Let's get it.